Hey everyone, my name is Bree. Welcome to my channel. I have the pleasure of being a Sea-Doo ambassador, and if you're in the personal watercraft world, you know that Sea-Doo released their 2022 line this afternoon, which included the Trophy, the Fish Pro, and the Scout. I had the privilege of being a part of their shoot for this line, and I was one of the first to ride the 2022 Sea-Doo Trophy. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about my thoughts and talk about the main additions. So the first thing you may notice is that bright orange. At first sight, I was so stoked, not to knock the other colors, but personally for me, fishing offshore, I want to be seen. I had an incident where I was driving the 2020, that green and yellow, and I was positioned between two boats, one to the east, one to the west of me, and all of a sudden I was releasing a fish, head down, heard this motor, looked up, saw the side of the boat and this wake coming over top of me, and I just sat there in shock, wet, thinking, oh my gosh, I almost just got hit by a boat. And turns out I knew a passenger on the boat, and they said, you know, they were trying to thread the needle between the two, and the captain just didn't see you, which scared me all the more. I was thinking, you know, if I was in a kayak that day, who knows what could have happened. But I have done a lot of kayak fishing, you know, I have the flags and everything, but my thought was, heck, you know, I'm upgrading to a Sea-Doo, and just the size of the vessel, you would think that the chances would be less of getting hit. And it comes down to the captain, it comes down to their awareness. But if I can do anything to be more visible, then I'm definitely gonna do it. So when I saw that orange, I was like, yes. Bright orange for the win. The IDF system, I know that one's not new, that was on the 2021, but let me tell you, I have used that way more than I ever thought I would. I think it was just one of those things we all realized that we really need it, especially fishing offshore with that sparse weed and running the weed lines. There's so many times where I'm like, oh, I don't want to jump in, and there's a lot of sharks where I fish, so I'm not wanting to jump in after I'm all bloody. And so having that IDF system, used it way more than I ever thought I would, and so I was really excited to see that on the Trophy. I'm hoping that one day it becomes standard for all Sea-Doos, so that we don't have those feelings of, oh, it's going to overheat, or oh, let me jump in and try to get stuff out of the grate. That has been huge for me this year, so I was really thankful to see that. And finally, guys, this has been in the works for a while, probably because I complained about it so much. The LIVEWELL. I was so excited when I first saw that LIVEWELL. If you have seen any of my videos, you may have seen me taking my dry bag and filling it up with water and putting that water in the cooler. Not ideal by any means, but that's what I needed to do to fish for those billfish offshore, to keep some live bait in there. And I would just use aerators, and trying to waterproof aerators as you're pouring water into a cooler is not easy. Literally would have to change the water almost every 10 minutes. If you have fished offshore, you know how choppy it gets. And you know, it'd just be rocking. I open to try to get a bait. By the time I get it bridled or on the hook, I lose half my water and then have to put more water in there. So I was so excited when I saw the addition of the new LIVEWELL. I think this is going to be a game changer for all those fishing offshore, inshore, and even freshwater, if you use live bait there too. But I think for that offshore fishery, this is going to be huge. So in order to use the LIVEWELL, there is a port on the back of the ski. You take a hose, you connect it to the port, and then there's another port on the actual cooler, kind of where the cooler plug was. You connect it there, flip the switch on the console, and there is water that is going to be flowing through that cooler, and obviously it's not going to fill up if it gets too high, so there's a drain. Huge, guys, this is going to be huge. I am so excited to take that offshore and not break my back trying to fill the cooler, jerry rig the cooler to make it a LIVEWELL. Now there's actually a LIVEWELL for it. Win. So if you're using the LIVEWELL as a cooler, where are you going to keep your fish? That's a question I get all the time. I have never used my cooler as a cooler. I've never kept ice in it. With the cooler extension, sometimes I put drinks and stuff up top, but I have always used it as a LIVEWELL. So I keep my catch inside of a soft cooler or a fish bag, and I've connected that fish bag to the other link system that's on the Sea-Doo. So practically, just keep in mind, if you are using the LIVEWELL system, there's going to be more weight on the back of that ski, so you may have to adjust your trim, especially in choppier conditions. I know for me, what I've been doing with the cooler system and making it a LIVEWELL, I add a lot of extra weight because I'm overfilling it, because I splash out so much of that water as I drive. So being with this system, because there's a drain inside, it's going to be more balanced than what I've been doing, but just keep in mind you're going to feel that extra weight on the back. And although I did not get to spend a lot of time with the new Garmin system, it is touchscreen, so I am really looking forward to that addition, and as I get to use it more, I'll update you guys on that too. So the only ski I really didn't get to try out was the Scout. I think it's a great idea, especially price-wise, to have these different models. I think it's going to meet the needs of, you know, anglers fishing different environments. Having had experience on the Fish Pro and the Trophy, I am so thankful for these new additions. If you guys want to learn more about the new models, you can head over to Sea-Doo's channel to check out their promo vids. And as soon as I can get my hands on a 2022 Trophy, you can bet that I'm going to take you guys with me on my first adventure. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch y'all next time.